Hello, welcome back. I am Nick. I'm here with David and Glenn. This is Triple Threat Analysis. This is going to be our Clash in Italy preview show. How are y'all doing, boys? We got Clash in Italy on Sunday.
A pretty loaded card. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yes, how you feeling, Glenn?
Same. It's a good card. We finally, hopefully, we have something good coming. We were due for something good.
I do think we got to say congratulations to Glenn on the Knicks making the finals, It's about time something good happened to Glenn sports-wise.
In my life.
It's been a while, but I'll be rooting for the Knicks, so take that with what you will. I'm not sure if that's a good thing for you, but
I mean, it
Let's-
is related because Danhausen uncursed the Knicks and cursed the Cavs, and they got swept. So, I mean, hey, maybe there's sense to this curse after all.
Knicks
think-
haven't
do
lost
you
the
think he's-
game since.
I know. Do you think Danhausen's going to curse the Thunder or Spurs for you?
I don't think he has that much power, but we'll see.
We'll see. Hey, maybe he's the only one that can stop Wemby, All right, let's move on to the wrestling. All right. So to start off the show, they're kicking off the show on ESPN like they have the first hour, like they have for the last couple of ones, and it's going to be Brock and Oba to start the show. The rematch. They're calling it the most anticipated rematch of all time. Obviously, this came together really quickly. Brock came back last week, but I mean, we all know this didn't need any build, right? It's same thing going into WrestleMania. It's Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi, right? How do y'all think this is going to differentiate from their WrestleMania match? Obviously, Brock got squashed in the WrestleMania match. So, do we think this is going to be a long match?
I definitely think they get more time than they did at WrestleMania, which any more time that you can give these two guys is going to be better. I don't think there's going to be any sort of like squashing really involved, but I think Brock really hammered it home on Monday, even just in that little video package of like, hey, like you can, give the beatings, but how can you take the beating? And we have on the main roster, which is what is the storyline for Oba Femi, like we have not seen him take a true beating on the main roster from anybody until Brock gave him 4 F5s last week, and we'll see what happens. We'll see, how it affects him, if they change anything with him in the ring or his personality or anything like that.
What about
If
you,
there
Glenn?
is going to be squashing, it's going to be vice versa this time.
Mhm.
If there is one. I don't think there will be, but if there is, it definitely would have to be Lesnar doing it or else it's pointless. You know what I mean? Because it's already happened once one way. You can't have it twice the same way. Unless you do it all 3 times. You do it here and SummerSlam, and all 3 times Oba just destroys them. I mean, slight possibility, but I don't think so.
Yeah. I think this match will be great. We said that about their WrestleMania match, and it was what it was. But I think this is like the first real match that we're having of them, right? And I mean, let's just get into who we think is going to win, right? I think Brock is going to win because I don't think you can have Brock come back out of retirement to lose. Because if that does happen, like, what does he do after that? If he loses to Oba, he can't go into SummerSlam being like, I'm going to retire at SummerSlam, so I just think logically it just has to be Brock, right?
Yeah, I honestly fully agree with you. Like, and personally, just because we are going to SummerSlam, I kind of want to see the end of this trilogy happen right in front of our eyes. Brock, obviously at that point, hopefully losing to end it all, Oba going over, being able to do the strut and everything in person. But yeah, I do think it just makes the most sense after everything we've seen for Brock to go over here at Clash in Italy. Oba can't remain undefeated forever. He's got to lose eventually, and Brock's the most realistic person to actually pin him 1, 2, 3 in the ring.
Yeah, for sure.
I do think there is a way that Lesnar could lose this match and still get his retirement match at WrestleMania. I mean, at SummerSlam, it just probably wouldn't be against Oba. Maybe it's against Gunther or something. There is a way that in this match, Brock can lose, make Oba look insanely strong, and just they move on to different things. But for the sake of just being, I always try to go off the grid on stuff. I'm not going to do it this time. I'm just going to say Brock does win this match. It should be a really good match. It should be a long match. But if it's a short match, it's because Brock destroys Oba, and Oba finally gets his first taste of, holy crap, I can lose. Because he hasn't had that in NXT. He didn't have that in WWE. This could be the first time he's just like, I got hit in the mouth. And then he can do the whole story like, oh, I'm going to I finally got beat. That's fine. But now I'm going to kill you. Whatever he wants to do in the whole storyline on Raw the next night. But yeah, so I think Brock Lesnar wins, and we get the build up for SummerSlam.
Yeah. I do think there is like a easy way to build off of a Brock loss, right? I mean, especially if we want him facing Gunther. We don't want him facing Gunther, but if that's the way they would want it to go, if Gunther beats Cody on Sunday, Brock loses, wins King of the Ring, and then faces Gunther at SummerSlam, title versus career. I mean,
Would be pretty
I
cool.
honestly wouldn't be against that,
Yeah.
because we've talked about Gunther and how like the career killer thing is it's not stale, but you can't just keep doing it, right? But having the title involved like makes it different than everything we've seen, of that, since up until now.
And
So,
before Cody got the belt back, who did Oba go to when he was still picking between Raw and SmackDown and they had that one match and he said, "I'll see you again." Cody and Oba. So that is it could also be a SummerSlam match as well. Cody versus Oba as well. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to this match. Like we said, it is Oba and Brock. Like, we have anything else to say about this? Any other theories or things y'all want to talk about?
I do think there's also a way where like this match just kind of ends, let's say in a no contest or like just in a double disqualification or something where they're both just beating the absolute crap out of each other, and that's the way we end up moving on to SummerSlam with it. Like I do think there's a slight chance of that as well. I do still think like my official prediction is still just Brock going over, but I do think there's a slight chance where it just gets so out of hand with these two behemoth dudes that they just can't control it any longer, and they have to do, maybe there's a stipulation in their match at SummerSlam or something like that besides just Brock retiring.
Right.
Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. I was about to
Yeah.
say. That'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean, I could see it ending in a no contest, especially if they want to keep Oba undefeated.
Yeah.
But that really, I think a no contest hurts Brock more than it helps Oba, But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Cool. We're gonna move on. The next match I think on the card I think it's gonna be Becky and Soul for the IC title next. So last week on Saturday Night's Main Event, they fought not for the title. There was a really clunky spot. I don't know if y'all saw it, but Soul went for the Soul Snatcher on Becky, and Becky pulled Jessica Carr, and Soul ended up hitting Jessica with it. Kinda, not really at all.
Yeah,
but
not really.
and then the match, and then Jessica ended the match. So now we have a rematch, and it's actually for the IC title now at Clash in Italy. I got to be honest, like me and Glenn were talking about it in the chat. We're between Soul's botched quite a few things since debuting.
Every finisher.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's hit a successful Soul Snatcher yet. Since debuting on Raw. And then she hasn't really been great on the mic, but you're comparing her against Becky. So, I mean, it's so you can't really knock her that much for that. But it's kind of soured her debut, we were talking about it. But how do you feel about it, David?
I mean, I do definitely agree with you guys. At Soul, I was really excited to see Soul finally come up on the main roster. We were talking about how her going against Becky, her going for the IC title was the perfect fit. I do still think it is the perfect fit. It's just she needs to get back to what she was doing at the end of her NXT run. I mean, everything was going flawless. She was hitting that Snow Snatcher 4 times every single match. It seemed like, you know what I mean? And especially going up against Zarya and things like that, where she had to hit it multiple times, going up against a bigger opponent. She looked really good. She wasn't doing stuff like that. Some people are pointing out that, she's kind of gone back to that super surfer, skateboardy, almost really loose jeans, stuff like that. Maybe it's just something like that where she needs to go back to the more just slightly tighter. I'm not saying you need to be the Divas era and show us your whole body. That's not her style. But go to just a little tighter. Stop getting the pants caught on the turnbuckle. Whatever it is, we need Soul to go out there and be Soul, and she has not been that since her Raw debut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she was rushed up. I know she's been there for a bit, but I just felt like this was kind of out of necessity for something new, and it wasn't necessary. We could have waited till after SummerSlam to get her up, give her a little bit more, knowing that, hey, you're going to go up there against Becky, you better perfect the move, you better get your mic skills going and stuff like that. That just wasn't the case. And then with the whole John Cena thing with the NXT stuff, it could have waited. It definitely could have waited. But again, she's still one of the most talented wrestlers on the women's roster in all of wrestling, and she's going to do better. This is a scripted show. She's going to eventually get it together, and she's going to be fine. But I do agree that I would have been a lot more excited going into this match if she would have just maybe finished one damn finisher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not, it sucks because this should be a show-stealing match, and I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a little tame because they have to make her look strong. She can still win. She probably will win when we get to our whatever. But just I'm not as excited as I should be. Put it that way. And we all feel the same way about that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get into who we think we're gonna win. Who's gonna win? Who do you think, David?
So, I mean, this might be the way you guys are leaning as well, but I was fully going into this expecting Soul to win, kind of like Glennon mentioned already, but there's a part of me now that is really worried about with all of her botches that she's had, with just not exactly and again, it is Becky Lynch, but not even really coming close to standing up to her on the mic. Like maybe they just need to keep Becky around until SummerSlam to where they can just be like, hey, stick around one more month and we'll add an extra month of vacation afterwards. Something, you know what I mean? Like, because she's due for some time off, 100%. I think
For
that's
sure.
why Soul's coming up. I think Soul will take the title from her, but let's pit them again, do something else just for like 2 weeks and then find their way back to each other to where we can get it at SummerSlam, be the end all be all, and give Soul that time on the main roster to just fully get comfortable and acclimated. So I think I'm kind of just talking myself into it. I think Becky Lynch ends up winning this match just because maybe Soul just isn't quite ready yet.
Mm-hmm. But you, Lynn?
I'm like I said, I'm 50-50 on it. I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I don't know what WWE. I mean, they brought Soul up this quickly to do something fast, or else they would have just waited. If Becky wins, then everyone's going to be saying the same thing. Soul lost because she's botching, she's not ready, she's not this. Then how do you just give her the belt to SummerSlam then? Like, what are they going to do until SummerSlam to make it all of a sudden she's ready? So to me, the best case scenario, let her learn while being the champ instead of learn to maybe taking the championship, and then it's just too slow for it. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Soul Ruca winning just because I'd rather her learn with the belt than without it. Like David said, Becky does need a break, but maybe she wants to break after SummerSlam, which means she wins and then loses it at SummerSlam. So screw that. I changed my mind. Becky's gonna win. So Ruca learns on the job, wins it at SummerSlam. It'll be a bigger moment for her anyway if she does win at SummerSlam, obviously. And then after she has that big moment in front of that huge crowd, then she can learn from there. So I agree. I'm gonna go with Becky.
And the
So
in between can always
flip.
the in between can always be like just a number one contenders tournament where she's facing people, let's say like Raquel or Io Sky again, to where like she's in the ring with these good competitors that should be bringing the best out of her to really get her ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I do think coming into the match, Soul was the plan to win, and I do think Soul is going to win. I'm picking Soul, but I also wouldn't be surprised if plans have changed now and they want Becky going over. But I am officially picking Soul. I do think we get them again at SummerSlam with Soul as the champ and Soul retaining at SummerSlam. But that's
Finish like a
little bit
secondary
away.
trilogy there.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're kind of all done there, and kind of another assumption while we're talking about this match, Jessica Carr is probably going to be the referee again.
Yep.
Is that maybe win or lose? Is that maybe Becky's direction instead for SummerSlam? Like, are we worried about Soul leaving the picture altogether? Let's say Soul wins, then it doesn't matter as much. If we get Becky versus Jessica Carr at SummerSlam, like, great. Hopefully it's 5-10 minutes and we're out of there. But let's say Becky does retain, like that. She can't be facing Jessica Carr for the title at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, we've been talking about Jessica Carr getting involved for a while now, and I think it really is. This is the extent of her involvement in this. I don't really see it now. I think the moment is past where we could get Jessica Carr actually involved and it be like actually worthwhile. Now I think it would be kind of like an afterthought, and I don't want it anywhere near the match.
I am noticing a lot of new refs on the shows lately. I'll just say that. Like, there's been a lot of new refs on the shows lately.
David does pay very close attention to the refs. He comments on it every week.
There's been a lot of new ones.
There has been. Do you have any further thoughts about this clip?
No, I honestly, I'll say that I haven't noticed a single different ref because I don't it's just that I don't. It's one part of the show kind of that I don't really look at. Like I wouldn't know if that guy or girl was there before. Like I know we have, not to be blunt. I mean, there's the one black female that's always on, that usually is there. Then there's Jessica, just because she's been in storylines. Then we have the one older guy, and then that's all I know. Like I can't, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, maybe there's something to that. I don't know what that, but yeah.
I only know
haven't-
Charles, That's
Yeah.
all. Charles and Jessica Carr, that's all I know. But anyways, any more thoughts about this match? Right. Next up, I think we're going to have Rhea versus Jade in their rematch for the title. I'm just going to be blunt. I don't really see a way that Jade wins in this match, like at all. and I don't think it's going to be a particularly good match. I think the WrestleMania match is going to be better than this ends up being. But how are y'all feeling?
I just think I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on it. Like I do think there's a world where Jade wins because clearly WWE likes her so much and wants her to be featured as a main event player. But I still think it's too soon. Like we're talking about Rhea Ripley holding a title again. You can't just keep doing this whole have her win, bounce it off her right away. Have her win, bounce it off her
Mhm.
right away. Like you kept Rhea out of the title picture all this time. You put the title on her, let her hold it. SmackDown doesn't have the greatest competitors anyways. Get somebody else in there to face her so that we can get Jade out of the picture for a while. Take a break, go somewhere, do something. Let Rhea remain the champion. That's all I need to see on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see the crowd reaction to Jade. That's about the only thing I'm interested in seeing because it was a good WrestleMania moment with Jade and Rhea. It was the match you had to have, but I don't think you had to have it again here at Clash in Italy. I just not super interested in it. So whoever wins wins. I'll be fine either way.
Yeah. I think continuing Jade and Rhea past WrestleMania was a bad decision. Because I mean, like they obviously want to build Jade, and you're gonna have her lose twice in a row to Rhea. I mean, because but Rhea's your biggest star, like definitely biggest female star, and one of the biggest stars in the company overall.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think like having them continue past WrestleMania was really dumb because I think it does both of them a disservice if they lose. Like way more of a disservice if they lose, rather than if Jade had gone and done something else, anything else really, and then came back maybe at SummerSlam or maybe next year's WrestleMania, and maybe she wins the Rumble next year and challenges Rhea for the title. That would have been a
Yeah.
lot better than just getting an immediate rematch. So I mean, we all said we all think Rhea's gonna win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not very excited for this match. It's gonna be what it is. Now, Glenn, me and David were talking about this before you joined. What do you think is gonna be the main event? Because we have two more matches. We have
It's an
Cody and
easy choice.
Gunther and Roman and Jacob.
It's an easy choice.
Yeah, it's to tribal combat for sure.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's mostly because the crowd will be way more into that match, and you know for a fact the Remember, they're in Italy. Not that Italians don't speak English, but I know that the word that they will understand is chanted Roman Reigns is. So
Hmm.
By the way, all three of us have at least part Italian in us. This is a good moment for wrestling. This is
This
great.
is great.
Like this is fantastic that Italy is getting this moment, man. This is like I'm actually like super proud and excited that they're going to be there because there's a lot of wrestling fans in Italy. Everyone just think, oh, they like soccer and nothing else. No, they love freaking wrestling over there. I got like 14 cousins, okay, with typical names, by the way, Luigi. I got a bunch of cousins there, and they freaking love wrestling, dude. They love it. They post about it every Monday and Friday. They freaking love, well, Saturday, I think it's a different, whatever. They post about it. They love it. Italy deserves it. I want that crowd to be going crazy. Even if they do the soccer chants, like, when they went to Puerto Rico went absolutely ballistic. That's what they need. They need to do what France does. We need to be the better European country. France is right now elite. We need to step it up and outdo them because we're better than France. So let's go. Let's step it up. And well, we'll talk about stuff later on. It has to do with Italian stuff, with people. So we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think there's not a high chance, but a non-zero chance that Cody and Gunther do main event the show. I mean, they've built Cody as the QB1. He is the champ. I mean, I don't know. Me and Dave were also talking about. I think this is the first time Cody and Roman have been on the same PLE where they're not fighting each other. Yeah, no,
Like on the same
maybe?
day because it was
Yeah,
Yeah, because
on the same
WrestleMania
day.
was
Yeah,
2 nights, and yeah,
SummerSlam was 2 nights. They fought
yeah.
on different nights. Yeah, I don't know, but it's
that's
interesting.
cool. Yeah.
But all right, let's move on to Cody and Gunther since y'all both think it will be not the main event. How are we feeling about this match? And I mean, we've talked about it on the last couple of weeks, but we're actually going into the match now. How are we feeling about it overall?
I think they've done what they've needed to keep me interested in enough in this match moving forward. Like there's been enough physical contact, there's been enough promos, like Cody's been doing his work on the mic to like make it feel like it's different than the feuds that he's been having previously. And because a lot of those feuds I felt like with Cody were just kind of starting to get jumbled together. And this one with Gunther does feel new. It feels different, which is great because obviously like I think a lot of fans are thinking Cody's getting a little stale after a while. It's just the same thing over and over again. but this might be the time. We'll get to the predictions in a little bit. Maybe the title gets taken off, but maybe it goes back to the chaser, and that's when everybody truly loves Cody, is when he's chasing the title, when he's not holding it, he's going after it, he's doing all the stories that way.
I mean, again, like, I am excited for the prospects of this match. Seeing, again, I'll say it every week, love Gunther. Obviously don't love Cody, but he's one of the best in the business. So it's always excited when he's on a PLE. But unless Gunther wins this match, this is all just pointless. And there is a chance he could. We'll talk about when we pick our person or whatever. But like, the fact that I'm not as excited as I should be tells you who I think is going to win the match. So to me, it's just been kind of one pointless feud. It has been a feud. There have been reasons and things going on, but to me, just not one that I ever wanted to see. So we'll just get into who we think is going to win now.
Yeah. As far as like the Cody feeling stale thing, I think this just happens with babyface champs. It's really just a part of being a face. They're all always better as the chaser, and it's never going to be as interesting as having a heel as a champion. I think it kind of just comes with the territory. Cody doesn't really help much, but
Yeah.
I think it's mostly just having a babyface as a champion. But let's get into who we think's gonna win. Let's start with you, David.
I'm gonna go with Gunther. I do think that they clearly did this for a reason. They moved him over to SmackDown. They needed somebody else, like especially with Randy being out with the supposed injury and stuff. Like they needed somebody else that could slide in, be a big enough name, and a good enough wrestler. And Gunther is both of those things. Like definitely just a big enough name, but he's definitely a good enough wrestler to where even if you don't like Gunther, if you hate him, you don't want to cheer him, whatever the case is, like he's gonna go in that ring and he's gonna put on a good match, whether he's in there with Otis or Cody Rhodes. Like Gunther can go in the ring. He's starting to obviously fall into the slight, like 5 moves of doom almost, to where when the match is coming to an end, but he can hit those moves at any time all match long, and it's still like entertaining. So I think Gunther pulls out of this one. I think maybe Cody takes a little break, or he has, we get a rematch at SummerSlam again, something. But we'll see what goes on. But I do think Gunther wins it right away.
If Brock Lesnar beats Oba, Cody wins. If Oba beats Brock Lesnar, then I think Brock wins King of the Ring and challenges Gunther for the title at SummerSlam. So based on that match is who I think will win, because that's where the story goes. That's the only place it can go after that. So that's my answer. Just if you see that Oba is victorious, Brock Lesnar's winning King of the Ring. He'll probably be versus LA Knight in the finals. Beat him and then challenge Gunther for the title.
LA Knight always getting so close, and
yeah, and then
you're okay with Gunther retiring Brock?
Yeah, that's his thing. That's what
he's the career.
I mean, he retired Cena, retired AJ. If someone's gonna do it, it has to be Gunther. I'm not saying that it can't be Oba. I'd be fine with that too, but I just think that this was all built for Gunther versus Lesnar, and they have to get that payoff. Or else, honestly, you'll remember that he tapped out Cena, but it didn't lead to shit. It has to lead to something bigger. This is it. So,
I mean,
there we go.
This is kind of what I meant when, like, a couple months ago when we talked, like, they kind of pigeonholed Gunther into this, right? Because now, like, it has to be bigger. But if he retires Brock, like, there ain't nobody bigger after that, like, except Randy, I guess. But, like, what do you do after that? Like, so, I mean, I don't know. Like, and part of it is, like, I think if you have the payoff for Oba and Brock in one match at Clash in Italy, like, there was no point in having Brock come back, Like, so as much as I think the story would be fire, if Brock loses or Brock wins and then goes on to King of Ring and wins, like I think that'd be a great story, but it would kind of cheapen Oba, I think, in my opinion,
You're saying that Brock loses, you mean?
Yeah. Brock loses, if Brock loses it, especially, I don't know, like, even though Oba will be winning and beating Brock, if Brock loses and then ends up being retired by Gunther at SummerSlam, it kind of cheapens Oba, in my opinion. Do y'all see what I'm saying?
Then we just get then we just go Oba versus Gunther after that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
not obviously for a retirement thing, but like just to be like, hey, we both, like, you beat Brock and then I retired Brock, like.
Yeah. But then, like, who goes over, in that? Like, it would have to be Oba, but then that would ruin momentum from Gunther retiring Brock. You know, like I don't know. I just don't see a world where I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I think I was gonna say I think Gunther's gonna win, but I think I talked myself into Cody winning because I don't really see an entertaining pathway after that if Gunther wins for really anything.
Okay.
I just talked a whole lot to myself right there, but that's
No,
all
I
right.
mean we can't we can't argue it because we don't know. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can really say. We can't say you're right, you're wrong, or anything like that because, well, one, it's your opinion on if you will enjoy it or not. And two, like, I do kind of agree that if Cody loses, he can't be at SummerSlam because what would he fight for? He's gonna get a rematch. He can't get the rematch because that would be we all believe that would be Lesnar. What does Cody do? You know what I mean? Does the Cody CM Punk thing that was supposed to be put on the back burner, is that what happens then? Could be, So I guess there's that. But other than that, I don't, like I said, I don't really see much. So you kind of have at SummerSlam and WrestleMania, you have to have your big guns have the belts, like me. And if you don't, it cheapens it. So yeah,
I think if Cody loses, we can't see him until like
after SummerSlam,
Survivor
Easily.
Series, maybe even the
Yeah.
Rumble. Like
Then Gunther better beat the shit out of him. He better
definitely.
put a whooping to like post match, keep him in the sleeper, make him like the old nasty Attitude Era chair around the neck, jump off the rope stomp, like where they're just spitting blood on it. Like Cody better look like that walking out if he's gonna be out till Rumble.
For sure. And the thing that makes me think Gunther might win is like Cody hasn't had time off
No.
since he was out with his pec, right? He hasn't had any sort of significant time off since he hurt himself. And he's been going like he's been there every week, he's been at every major show, he's been at every PLE, he's been fighting.
And he was still filming movies.
Yeah, so Cody's been putting in the work and he really has like I'm not going to say he's carried the company, but he's been here and he's been a champ and he's been at every single show. So that's the only thing that like it makes me think that Gunther might win because it is the perfect thing to make Cody take a bunch of time off. But yeah, anything else about this match? Yeah, let's move to the main event, the tribal combat with Jacob and Roman for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm just gonna say it. I'm personally not as excited for this match as I feel like I should be. Like, I mean, it is a tribal combat match. Like, we know it's probably gonna be crazy, but like to me, like it's just Roman and Jacob fighting again that I have really no interest in. The stipulation helps, but I'm just personally not interested in this again because I think we're all gonna say that we just know Roman's gonna win anyway. But how are y'all? What are y'all feeling?
I mean, after what took some realizing to understand that it was actually kind of good, but after that, what happened on Raw and everything between the two of them, and especially after everything was signed and they weren't just trying to kill each other anymore, this I think is the most that I've felt that Jacob has a chance to win the title during this entire feud. Now, again, does that just mean we're going for another trilogy match at SummerSlam where Roman just comes back and takes the title back again? Or he truly does put Jacob over so that he can go off to Hollywood and do whatever? But, like, I don't just want to have another trilogy coming out of Clash in Italy. Like, that's been a possibility for almost all the matches that we've talked about already. So that's what makes me kind of lean back towards Roman. But there, right now, I think is the highest chance during this entire Jacob versus Roman time that I have felt like Jacob has a real shot of winning.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not so sold that he doesn't win this match. Like it wouldn't make sense to me this early to take the belt off of Roman, but I can see it now. Like I can see there's a possibility of it. Not only that, Roman. Remember, we just had this whole 50 thing off and time off thing, and Roman likes his time off, especially if he's not getting paid a full amount. So there's so many reasons that Fatu can win this match. Now, my issue would be if you have Gunther and Fatu going to SummerSlam with the belts, people are going to be very upset. No matter how much people like these guys, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like it's not grabbing. It's not going to sell tickets. Like Fatu has the belt. Buying tickets now. Like I like Fatu, but I'm not buying tickets to go see him. Like you guys bought tickets before this to go see SummerSlam. If I was buying them right now after seeing if Gunther and Fatu are champs, I ain't buying it. So, I don't know if WWE wants to necessarily go that route. It makes sense for Cody and Roman to both have the belts going into SummerSlam and they can both lose it at SummerSlam. That's fine. But to sell the tickets for the business aspect makes sense for both of them to win. So, yeah. Now we can just go with who we think will win.
Yeah. One thing that they haven't really explicitly said it, but Adam Pierce keeps saying that like Oba shouldn't, or that Jacob shouldn't be employed by the company anymore. Like he keeps like hammering that home. He's been saying it the last couple of weeks. So like, is part of this leading to like a storyline where Jacob like leaves WWE? Like something like that. What do y'all think?
I mean, and then Jacob kind of, whether it was supposed to be caught on the mic or not, just threw that whole story out the window on Raw last night when he's like, "Well, I'm still gonna have a job anyway." So, like, no, brother, that the whole point of this entire story has been talking about you getting fired, Roman telling him not to fire you so he can whoop your ass in tribal combat. Like, no, I'm gonna have a job anyways, man, brother. Like,
Yeah.
it that makes it a lot tougher. Like, it wasn't said loud. He didn't say it directly into the mic, but it was picked up. Like, it definitely messes with it a little bit.
For sure. What are we saying? Oba wins against Brock. Roman wins a grueling match against Jacob, and then Oba comes out, falls from grace. Roman after his match, setting up Oba and Roman at SummerSlam.
I mean, there would have to be so much carnage before, like, because the Usos are going to be involved. Maybe we said it for Backlash. Maybe we see the debut of Zilla finally. Like, there's got to be someone helping Jacob. It's tribal combat. Like, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
You can't just send the Usos out to get their ass kicked again. Like, there's got to be like, they'll get their ass kicked eventually, but there's got to be someone on Jacob's side.
Yeah.
And Zilla's crazy enough to do it.
I feel like I'm obligated to bring it up since it's tribal combat.
Will we see The Rock?
Will we see The Rock?
No,
He
he's
ain't
not
going
coming
to
back.
Italy.
He's done. He's done. He's over. It's cooked.
I'm
never saying he's coming back again until he actually does come back, because it's pointless.
I just felt obligated to talk about it.
There's one Glenn that no one else is gonna bring up, so let me do it right now. The move that Fatu has been using, Roman has said multiple times, you can't use that move on family. This is a tribal combat match where all rules have to do with the Samoan family and all that stuff. There's a world that Fatu uses the move on Roman, pins him 1, 2, 3, has the belt and wins, and someone comes from the back from the Samoan family and says, "You can't do that."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who, maybe The Rock, maybe Rikishi, whoever. I don't know. There's just so many freaking people that can come out and says, based on, and remember when Roman signed the contract and he was like, get all the referees out of the ring. He signed the contract.
We can't.
Legally binding thing. He can't. He keeps bringing up the contractual aspect of this over and over and over again. So again, this is a Glennism, which means that there's a 2% chance that this happens, that Fatu wins and he holds the belt and everything. He thinks he won all that. Somebody comes out, maybe even the Usos come out and say, congratulations, but you can't, whatever the case may be. So I could see a little something like that happening. Just, throw a little wrench and everything like that. But I'll start with my prediction. I'm going to say that, like I said, it just makes sense for Roman to win and go to WrestleMania with the belt, because we're business people. I got to go with that. They got to sell more tickets. And if you don't have Roman there as the champion, it's like he's coming there as a competitor again, but not as a champ. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to go with Roman because that just makes the most sense.
David?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, this is the highest percentage that I felt that Jacob has a chance of winning. And I've been entertained by this. I like all the bloodline stuff. Roman versus Jacob has been more entertaining than Roman versus Solo was. I'm not saying it would be it would probably be better now because Solo has grown so much. But Jacob's a better competitor, better on the mic than Solo was during Roman and Solo's feud. Like, I've been much more entertained by this, but I still kind of want it to be over with. I want Roman to have like a big name marquee matchup, whether that's a returning CM Punk, whether that's Oba, whether it's whoever the case may be. Like, when we show up to SummerSlam and Roman's got the title on his shoulder, like, he needs to have somebody across the ring with a bigger name than Jacob. And I love Jacob, like Glenn was saying before. Like, we're big fans of Jacob Fatu. But it's like Roman's the champ again. He needs a marquee main event matchup for SummerSlam.
Yeah. I've been very vocal about not wanting the bloodline run back. And, Jacob made sense to me. Like, they've been positioning Jacob, well since he debuted, really. So it made sense that he would be the first one, rehash the bloodline, make him fight Roman for the title. But after this, I do think Roman wins. I think it's pretty obvious that Roman wins. I don't really see this chance of Jacob winning that y'all are talking about. But I don't want to see the bloodline after this. Like I don't want to see any more Samoans on my screen other than Roman. Get Jay off the screen and Jimmy. We can keep Jimmy and Roman, send the rest of them elsewhere. But yeah, so I do think Roman's going to win. Anything else to say about the match?
No, but we do need to talk about some other things that could happen here that would
Yeah,
make me
let's
pop
do it.
out my damn seat. And I'll let David talk about one. I'll talk about the other. It's in Italy. Santino Marella is in TNA. If Santino's music hits during this I am going to
During
fucking
this?
explode.
Like, just during the PLE.
Yeah, like
Okay.
not to fight anyone or anything like that, but
Yeah,
it'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
come in like maybe he just announces a match. I don't know, just some aspect. But then he could also return to Raw the next day or something like that, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be.
Santino Danhausen segment.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, bro. Yeah, but we'll let David talk about the other one. Go ahead. I'll give you the honors here.
I don't know.
Team?
Yeah. Oh, this would be the perfect spot for it. I really wanted it to happen in SummerSlam because I want to be there for when it happens. But there's obviously been all the rumors. There was someone who many believe was wrongfully released many years ago after being found not guilty of these charges that he had at the time. There's a wrestler over in AEW whose contract is coming to an end. Enzo Amore and Big Cass are rumored to be returning to the WWE. Enzo's been seen at the Performance Center for every week for basically a month now. He's been backstage at NXT. He's been catching the vibes again. He's been seeing what's been going on. And Big Cass's contract was rumored to be up right here, right at the end of the month of May. So Clash would be the perfect time for them to show up. They've got the just straight Italian, like OG vibes. But I almost still want to see them just push it off and wait until SummerSlam. Like the first pop that music at SummerSlam would be cool, but just like Santino's music, I feel like the roof would blow off of that place in Italy if Enzo and Cass came out.
Even though he's Canadian, but still, it's okay.
Right.
Yes, David and Glenn are both excited for the potential return. Shut up, bro. Shut up. David and Glenn are both very excited about the potential return of Enzo and Cass. I am not very excited.
You know why? You know why he's not excited, David? Because he's S-L-W-F-T soft.
So me and David talked about this a little bit. Like I was really like, they're obviously very entertaining, but I feel like they're entertaining in a mid 2000s kind of, or mid 2010s kind of way. I think if they come back now, we're going to look at them the same way we've looked at Nikki and AJ, in that they just don't really fit in now, you know? They could very well prove me wrong. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm probably going to find them entertaining again, but I just don't think they're going to fit in the current WWE landscape. That's kind of my hesitation about them.
My only worry, and we talked about this too, like my only worry is WWE has shown a clear unwillingness to really highlight and showcase and do a lot of work with their tag team division on either show, really. Like they just put the Usos back together on the Raw tag team division that needed all the help in the world, and then immediately said, "Nah, here, Vision, take the titles and never fight them, and never defend them." Like, yeah, they just did against Street Profits, I get that, but you know, it's like for the most part, they're not defending them. They're not out there week to week. Like they've just kind of given up on the tag division as a whole. So can Enzo and Cass really be the people to save the tag division? I don't think so, but it'll definitely give it a boost that it so desperately needs.
I mean, I think they can save the tag team division from an entertainment standpoint, not necessarily a wrestling standpoint. You know,
we do
like
have
I'm
Priest
not.
and R-Truth still as champions on SmackDown, so
Yeah, I mean, you know. So speaking of the Vision, let's talk about Logan Paul. Logan Paul tore his tricep. He's going to be out for, you know, quite a while. But this just plays into what we were talking about, you know, a few episodes ago, and that the Vision's like cursed, man. Like everybody just keeps getting hurt, and at this point, like, you know, they said that Braun's going to fill in for Logan with Austin, defend the tag team titles with them, and I don't really want that at all. You know, I do not want that at all.
I've got a fun fact for you, and then I'll talk about their little tag team collusion. So the same way that every member of the Vision joined the Vision is the same way that every member of the Vision has gotten injured. They faked the injury angle with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins got hurt. Braun Breaker got hurt. Bronson Reed got hurt, and now Logan Paul is hurt. It's just ironic how it's gone in the same order. And then Austin Theory and Braun Breaker, like I do definitely think they're going to be losing the tag titles soon. I think it's going to be Austin Theory's fault. He takes the pin, whatever the case may be. But just on his couple appearances on Monday on Raw, like taking out Joe Hendry, taking out Angelo Dawkins, like this is the most interested I've been in Austin Theory's character probably ever. Like just in that one episode of Raw, he got me like, okay, who's he going to go after next? That was a nasty chair shot. Like I think they're writing Joe Hendry and Angelo Dawkins off TV for at least the foreseeable future, maybe until Logan Paul comes back, because especially for Joe Hendry, that's kind of all he was doing since his call-up was making songs and going after Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I got one last Clintonism before we're done, right? One last one. It's not going to happen now because of what happened with Dawkins. But before Dawkins got hurt, I thought we were for sure going to get Seth Rollins back to division by beating that and turning on the Street Profits, because they kept saying, stay out of my way, stay out of my way, stay out of my way. Don't get in my way. If you stay in my way, there's going to be problems. And then all of a sudden, Austin Theory needs a tag team partner. And I was like, bro, Seth Rollins is going to be the tag team partner. But Braun Breaker doesn't make sense. He's doing his own thing in the solo. It didn't make no sense to me. But maybe Bronson Reed obviously would make way more sense.
Yeah,
but
a returning
nonetheless, like, I just figured it would be a perfect fit because Seth Rollins doesn't really have a... What's he doing? He's not really doing much right now. I just figured if you put Seth Rollins on that tag team, like, he comes out and he was about to help the Street Profits. They're both of them were beating down Austin Theory. And then Seth Rollins was like, and then beats the hell out of Montez Ford.
Like
and
he
then
always
joins
does.
this. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was hoping would happen. But then he joins Montez in the tag team. He could still turn on him because it would make Montez a much better singles competitor as an angry person against Division himself now. But, you know, I just think there's a lot of interesting stuff going with that. They could also win the tag titles from Austin Theory, and they can have a really good run as faces. So
Seriously.
a lot of good things are going to happen from this because Montez is an incredible competitor, and I'm very interested to see where this story goes for sure.
So
Montez getting to work with the main event guys is super cool. Super cool.
So with the tag team division as bad as it is, did we really bring the Street Profits back just to split them up and make Montez a single star? You know?
I mean, it was always going to happen. It was supposed to happen months ago where they're supposed to break up on each other. I thought this was going to be it. I thought either Dawkins was going to be so mad that Montez keeps telling Seth Rollins to stay out of the way, and that Seth was going to cost them the tag titles, and then Dawkins was going to beat the hell out of Montez Ford, like, because you couldn't shut your mouth and tell him, and then they were going to beat the hell out of each other and have a good match. So I had so many different theories about what would happen in this, and none of them came to fruition. Seth just winds up joining Montez. I was like, that's the last thing I expected, but I mean, it could be good, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we need the Street Profits to win the titles and have a good reign,
and then featured every week, and
and then split, and it would make it hit a lot harder. Because I mean, they haven't been on TV in what, like before they came back, they weren't on TV for a year.
But yeah, but Dawkins is dead now.
Yeah, I mean,
I would agree with you if they were just the good, like they were fine. But Dawkins he got chaired 4 times. He's cooked, you know. Like, by the way, I honestly believe one last thing. Sorry, I honestly believe Austin Theory hit Joe Hendry in the head. That he wasn't supposed to. I think he actually hurt him. And I know that's a thing, because when he was about to hit Dawkins in the head, he missed completely and just hit the floor to the side because he was so scared about doing it again. So I something I caught because I rewinded it and I was like, yo, he hit him. Joe Hendry didn't have his hands up. He didn't hit the pole. He hit Joe Hendry in the head. Joe Hendry might actually be freaking hurt. So yeah.
One quick thing, mentioned Seth not really having anything, going on. After the match on Sunday, Seth curb stomps Roman.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
And we get Roman and Seth.
We can never get those two to line up at WrestleMania, so let's get them at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be pretty great.
But then they screw it up again, and then somebody wins King of the Ring and inserts themselves into a triple threat, and it's still not Seth Roman.
We'll never get it.
Brock.
It's the forbidden fruit.
It's Brock.
It's
Roman
Brock. Oh my god.
Okay, we need to get out of here.
It's just Fatu again. Just
like, comment, follow, subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, share us with your friends. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next week with our Clash in Italy review.